Do y'all think that in a lot of these niches and a lot of these spaces, it would take a Caucasian representation in order to boost these platforms?
It's impressive for white people when they see one of their own really able to dominate. It's genuinely a thing.
The conversation around the horn has been, stemming from last year's March Madness, where Caitlin Clark, who everybody couldn't avoid, had the streets popping. Paige Beckers had it popping. College basketball on the men's side is all of a sudden popping again because Cooper Flag is there. And it can't help but be noticed. And I think this is a representation of all of what we're talking about here. What can make things popping is that two white athletes were the ones who helped boost this into a different stratosphere. Good story. Even if Cooper Flag lost, I would be surprised if this finals game has as many eyes as that Final Four game. But the thing to note is that two young Caucasian people have seemingly saved the sport, and there's a conversation about them going on to the next level and saving the other sport. So the professional ranks, I should say. So we talked about it earlier when we talked about, what can help these different platforms grow and rise. Do y'all think, because America is still predominantly Caucasian, do y'all think that in a lot of these niches and a lot of these spaces, it would take a Caucasian representation in order to boost these platforms? You could think of streaming too. Aiden Ross really boosted streaming. I know people want to talk about Kai Cenat and all this, but a lot of people attribute stuff like that to Aiden Ross. Rap in a conversation, but
I don't think need is the right word. Doesn't make it easier. I think so. Just because like what you said, whether we like it or not, like America is still majority white. So when the country is set up that way, people they gravitate to people that look like them. So when the majority of the country is white, then it just makes stuff like this easier. So
I don't really watch basketball and all that, but I will say this: when white people see a white person in a black dominated space, they just gonna rally behind it, just like we do when we see a black person in a white dominated space. It could be basket weaving. Like, oh yeah, I love basket weaving. Yeah, do that. Go. That's how I see it.
I disagree with that sentiment. Don't care. Whenever black people are in white dominated spaces, they typically ask, why you want to be around them white folks? You can't name 5 black NHL players. Can't name. The only time I knew there was a black man in NASCAR is when they talked about having a noose in his garage. That was
okay, but look,
time.
Tiger Woods did not care about golf.
He's not black. Tiger Woods isn't black.
He is biracial.
What is he?
Biracial.
He black and white.
Asian, but that's still not just black. It's and gravitated towards that Asian half way more than the black half. Let me tell you.
So we just talking just black.
Tiger Woods said he was Carblasian.
What the heck is that?
That's insane.
His
ethnicity.
His makeup.
Oh shoot! I ain't gonna lie.
I just watched the ending. That's a heartbreaking way to lose. Jesus, bro, that's tough. That's tough.
They get for beating that young Caucasian man. Is that we talked about it with women in streaming earlier. Is that one of the reasons why women streamers haven't been on the rise? They need that one white influence.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I mean, don't we?
I got Amaranth.
We got Amaranth. We got strawberry. Well, strawberry's not white, but we got Amaranth. We got, y'all said Tiger Woods is more Asian leaning, so that goes.
I always thought
back to
Pokemon was Asian. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and she's Moroccan.
Yeah, I found out she's Moroccan.
She's Moroccan. I always
thought she was Asian.
Yeah, she's Moroccan. And then Cinna is what? She's black and
white.
And white.
And Japanese.
And Japanese. So that's already there, And then any other female who kind of gets up into the space, she's kind of already she's either not died. Jesus, that's not a good thing to say. She's either drifted off into the poggers space, or she's just one of the WL streamers that kind of just fades. Because I remember when Soul was up for a long time, and now she's kind of back to a stagnant number. We had a Hispanic, a Latina that was up and coming. She actually dated a CNAT, and she's not up there no more. So it's just
dang.
Who?
A CNAT.
Devontae, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not Kai.
I was about to say, damn, I didn't
Not
know
Kai, Kai's brother. But yeah, it's just that's already there. Tell you, man, that streaming space is harder than anything. But I mean, we already have enough white presenting people to break through.
Yeah, they straight.
She not lying.
That was okay. So then, why do y'all think this growing sentiment that, especially in basketball, but that these Caucasian influences can help the space? That I guess is predominantly black in some regards.
I mean, what's the girl who be beefing with Angel Reese? The white girl?
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. I ain't even pay attention to the WNBA till they started talking about Caitlin Clark. White woman bringing attention to the space, doing her job. I mean, I think that's just how shit work.
But what specifically about, I guess, her? Because we could talk about play style and all this other stuff. Paige plays
She
a whole
white.
different play style. What specifically about white people? What is it? And listen,
You
I know
said it
probably
earlier.
somebody's gonna say there's no racial factors. I can't say if that's true or
Didn't
not.
they make a movie about it?
About
Caitlin
White
Clark?
Man Can't Jump.
Well,
They love.
I'm just saying, like, that's what we're beating around right now.
It's impressive for white people when they see one of their own really able to dominate. It's genuinely a thing. It's actually a thing. Omar, we had this conversation last week when old girl said the only reason why, well, not only reason, but she alluded to Caitlin Clark's fame being as big as it is with the youth is because she's white. And then I was like, oh, that's a silly statement. But then you and Cardiac was quick with it. I mean, whites are the majority, so the majority of the youth would probably be white. So it makes sense. They just like seeing a representation. Especially in a space where it's nothing but the only white representation got last names you can't pronounce. Doncic, Jokic, Pavlovich, like they're not really.
This is crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
wanted to get that one off.
Is that not his last name?
No, I didn't.
But he's not white.
He not white.
Yeah,
He not white.
Okay, I feel it. Get it off. I don't know.
They take some type of pride in, seeing one of their own being able to dominate, and they show their support.
Yeah, and I also think the bar is a lot lower for white people in black dominated sports too. Like, y'all remember this clip? It was from a long time ago. It was this video of this girl at a wedding, and she was rapping a little baby verse, and everybody was going crazy about it. And it was like, why y'all keep hyping up the white girl? I was like, because the expectations of a white woman are so low. When you see her do something normal, you're like, whoa, this is crazy.
So is there credibility to say though that there's something bigger to them or different than them than the average person that makes them also stand out, and it has nothing to do with the whiteness at all?
Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it necessarily, because I'm just thinking back to Lynn Sanity. Like, that's the Asian dude that dominated basketball for a minute. So it may just be knowing that like basketball is predominantly black dominated. Just seeing like non-black people dominate within the space makes non-black people want to consume the content more. So that may be it with Caitlin. That may be it with Cooper Flag. I think Jeremy Lin, like when he had his Linsanity run, that was a big part of it. That's made a long-lasting impact within like Asians consuming basketball. So I don't think it's something inherent about being white. It may just be like, again, seeing representation within the space that isn't like predominantly there, at least at the top level of it.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, so if a Hawaiian dude started turning up, all the Hawaiians finna start tuning in.
Yeah,
you know what
like
I'm saying?
Filipinos do it with like they did it with Manny Pacquiao, with boxing. They did it with even right now, like Jordan Clarkson just being in the NBA and like being not ass is like a big deal for Filipinos. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're repping it hard.
Not ass.
Yeah.
Now I have my new fix for streaming for the women. I feel like it is going to take a white woman. A white woman hopping into the WL space, acting like Zoe Spencer.
Oh, that's not going to go off.
Oh,
They're
that's
gonna hate
crazy.
her. They're going to hate her.
We saying that, but for some reason, there's always this boost. Like they said,
Lil Tay.
I'm telling you, they're gonna hate that because we had Lil Tay, we had she
Lil
not
Tay
really
giving a
Tay.
boost right
She
now
was
though.
sweet.
Yeah, I was
no,
just-
but
The
that's
thing
because
is-
Rakai. That's because Rakai. Lil Tay's been just kind of like she keep coming back and dying and like kind of
But
like
that's
what a
because of
Neon
her
did.
situation, though. She was
Yeah,
She pulled
she
a
was way
Neon
too
though.
young. She did, but now look at Neon.
But she had sex with Neon.
No,
What?
whoa,
What did I
she's
just
a
say? What did
she
I-
pulled the I
minor.
died
She
card.
pulled she pulled
Oh,
a
okay.
Neon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
but
So Bad Baby
no,
started streaming. Is that your solution?
no, there's
I'd watch
another
that.
girl. I can't think of her name. She was on Baddies. She like converted to a Christian.
Whoa, Vicky.
Whoa, Vicky, yes. They fried her shit.
But you saying that in the beginnings of Whoa Vicky got extremely popular.
Yes, and then the WL female community, because there is part of that, they love to gatekeep their men. They will fry her for acting a certain way and being a certain color.
All it's gonna take is for a white woman to come and act like Zoe Spencer, and niggas to embrace it, and it's a
there's
wrap.
a girl doing that right now, and she's getting so much backlash. You know that
Who?
white girl that wears the cornrows and she's talking about it's my culture, it's my culture. Vikings did this. Do you know what I'm talking about? She's
And
been
she's a
vlogging,
streamer?
streaming. Yeah,
she
I
on
think she
TikTok?
streams.
I'm about to say, but is she in the WL community though?
But she's trying to get into it by doing the stuff Zoe Spencer does, like rage baiting.
What's her
She
name?
got to get on a Black Boy Max.
But, like,
stream or
what-
something.
What kind of
she-
rage bait though?
You got to spit a 16.
I mean, the only
Yeah.
rage bait a white girl could do.
Oh, she being racist?
She
No,
dropping hard
well,
R?
kind of. No, she didn't drop the hard R. She just wears like cornrows, and then people keep trying
That's
to
like
tell
a
her
part
like
of her
take them
content, I'm
out.
pretty sure.
Yeah, it is, and she's like, "Well, Vikings used to wear cornrows, so it's okay." Or
Oh, she
Vikings
one of
used to
them.
wear
But like, what
braids.
is?
Yeah,
But
I
like,
guess her
what
name's
is her
Natalie Reynolds.
content though?
just trolling.
Just that.
Just
bro.
having
Yeah,
bra-
that's
having
just
That's kind
that.
of crazy.
having
like,
Like
you
braids.
see
she's
what I'm
rage baiting.
saying?
Like a lot of her videos is literally just
But you see, like
I'm
Zoe
a-
Spencer does it,
yeah.
and it's WL. She does it, and it's just rage bait.
Well, she. The
Zoe
thing, the
Spencer was
difference
straight
is,
putting her hands on Kai Cenat. Okay,
I think the difference
She
is
was
the
not
network.
with it.
Like if the white girl with the braids was actually in the network of
But
the
I'm telling you,
WL.
I don't think the WL is gonna take her
they won't.
into that. You
But
know
I
what
think
mean?
that's
Like,
because
she's trying to break through it.
she's trying to. I think that's because she just came in late, and with the whole Zoe thing,
No,
she started off trying to just be NWL from the beginning.
I don't know. She's that's just like you got to see her content, and you'll get what I'm saying. Like her content is within that realm, but because she's not, you know,
But
know,
I'm
I
saying,
it just comes off as something else.
I think when we have these conversations, it's also always in the frame of like growing on Twitch. When like even right now, there's a couple YouTube female streamers that I know that put like 10K. There's that
Yeah.
one streamer Omar that I keep linking because she talks about like topical shit like us.
Yeah.
YouTube streamer talks about like drama and shit, pulling like 10K, 12K easy. Like imagine a female doing that on Twitch. Like
I have no clue
That'd
who
be
you're
crazy.
talking about, by the way. I don't.
it's
She
what's
was
her
on
name?
Kick, by the way. She started on Kick.
Pulling
No,
10.
we might be talking about two different people.
Oh no, the girl with the braids I'm talking
Oh,
about.
okay,
Like
okay,
she
okay.
started on Kick. She started streaming.
What is it?
and
the
see,
braids?
but I feel like there's a stark difference between the woman that Omar and even me, because I agree with Omar, is alluding to versus her. I feel like she was doing her own thing at first, and then now she's trying to break into it by doing what she's doing now. I feel like if there was a girl who even with
Type shit.
pulling like 5 viewers on Twitch, her content is genuine WL content. She's a white girl, and then she gets the nod from streamers like, yo, she's genuine. I think it'll be a lot different than the Yugoslavian woman we talking about.
So
And how do
Finn,
we and how would a white woman get into the WL without getting the constant backlash of being racist or manipulating a certain community to get, you know what I mean?
you'd have to
Because
be
that
that's,
that
right.
that's a
Finn.
very
Is that not-
very
She
common
has
thing
to
that
be great.
happens.
That's
She
how a
has to be
star is
great.
born. That's a star right there.
She has to be great, and it
has
has to be genuine. I'm not saying some shit that's gonna be easy, but real recognize real. Obviously, you'll have those people like a Omar who will never believe it. They'll just believe it's culture vulture 24/7. But there is gonna be a large amount of people who just genuinely feel like, nah, she's genuinely just being herself.
Like,
She's not being offensive or whatever it is.
like Georgiana.
Like a Ormar.
Okay.
You're
Ultimately,
not getting that from me, gang. You're not getting the Georgiana nod from me.
ultimately, though, I think that a lot of people are saying that there's a trend, and some of these people are undeserving. Now, I don't know. I think Paige and Cooper. I know this is a nasty correlation. Paige and Cooper are, um, worthy of whatever praise they're getting. I guess the real final question is: do you have a problem if, in whatever respective niche that you represent or whatever that's having a little downtick, if a white face does come and save it? Because I know a lot of people last year had issue with Caitlin Clark coming to save the WNBA, right?
If I ain't touching no bread, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off? I thought you were wrapping up.
No. Go ahead.
If I'm not touching no bread from you saving it, yeah, I'm be mad. But if I'm able to get a bag from this, hey, go off my cockazoid, king, queen, whatever. Let's get this money together. You helping me out. That's what I really think a lot of this WNBA drama is. A lot of these motherfuckers is mad are these old ass WNBA women on the tail end of what monies they could be getting. So they not about to touch none of this new bitch money. The new bitches? Oh yeah, they love Caitlin Clark. Why? We about to be touching real money now. And it's great. Now, Cooper Flag, I don't know what this saving the NBA complex, they think this.
Yeah, I don't know what they think Cooper Flag is about to do.
If you think he about to come to the Utah Jazz and boost the market for everybody being on the Utah Jazz, all right, great white hope, I guess. But Paige going to the WNBA, it is going to help. We've seen that even before Caitlin got to the WNBA 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when we were on Locker Room having these conversations, they talked about how they will boost the white woman before the black woman. There are plenty of black women who are playing outstanding basketball. A white woman can be 75% as good, and she's getting all the credit for being great. So this has been a thing over there.
I think for me, it's just the respect from whoever it is. And if it's there, then I don't really care. Like, I think a lot of the Caitlin Clark discourse, like, you could make a case that she could control it, but a lot of it was just like people projecting their ideas on her and using her situation as like a jumping board. But when you talk about what she's specifically done, she hasn't really done much, to be honest with you. So I personally wouldn't have a problem with it, just inherently speaking, if the person being like propped up is white.